What do you call a can opener that doesn't work?
What?
Can't opener.
Well, you said something completely different then. And I'm like, you can't say that on this. You just can't say that.
First 15 seconds of the podcast.
You get us cancelled. Or in that case, cancelled.
No, you know what I said.
Oh. You can't. Well, hang on. Wait. Hang on.
Yep.
That's a can of Allhams you just don't want to open.
It's a can of worms.
You can smash it.
Here at the glass table, we're just like you.
I like to play football, I like to watch football, and I like to talk about football.
Yay! I like to play football, and I like to watch football, and I like to talk about football.
But we do things a little bit differently around here.
Life could be a dream, Jared.
Stupid dick. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 88. Glass table's back. Getting to the pointy end of the season, the peak of the mountain, and we're a bit unsure on what's going to be happening. It's a bit cloudy, a bit snowy on top at the moment, and the top eight's getting a bit frosty, so we'll see how it all goes. We're going to do a ladder predictor in this one, but I should welcome my co-host. Forgot where you were for a second. Welcome the human being that's on the other end of the call.
Yes, hello,
Jared.
That's me. Hi, it's very nice to be here. Ant is making snow jokes because I'm going to the snow this week, so that's a wrong.
See how many I get in.
If everyone's wondering what's going on there, but no, it's very, very nice to be here.
Did you enjoy our cold opening? Sorry, continue.
I want to say it's very, very nice to be here. As you said, we're doing our ladder predictor this episode, so it's going to be very, very good. By ladder predictor, we mean which of the top 9 teams are going to fit into the 8.
Still 11 there. There's still 11. You've still got to hold on hope.
See where everyone else is going to finish. But it's very, very nice to be here after a, frankly, pretty shit week of footy.
Yeah, it was 2 games under 15 points. The game of the round was for 3 quarters Essendon Gold Coast.
Yeah, seemed okay for a little bit there. That's probably the one that I least thought was going to be good.
And if you take out the first quarter at the Gabba, it's a pretty damn even contest.
And
if you
the last quarter of the Saints Hawks game, that's pretty even too.
See, I'm sick of people calling it shit. You got to look at the positives.
You know what? We gave it a crack.
Look at the positives.
Yeah. I mean, first 3 games. Oh, I mean, even North Dogs, first half was all right. North were, I think, winning at halftime, I think.
If you take out the 3 quarters after quarter time of Friday night, Carlton might have had some respect to their name.
Giants Eagles, that was bad the whole way through. It doesn't matter. But
whatever happens out west, it doesn't matter. In fact, I think that game is still going.
Yes, I think so. And no one was watching it anyway. And then Cats Richmond was the same. That doesn't matter. It was bad from the start. So
it took me till 3/4 time of Cats Richmond to realise it was at GMHBA.
I was lucky that I was listening to it on the radio and they were like, here at Geelong. And I was like, oh, shit. They're playing this there.
Are you down there? There was a double header at Marvel and no games at the G.
Yeah, it was so strange. And it still took me fucking an hour and a half to get to Marvel.
Yeah, and that's why.
Yes, because there was no game. You're right.
And then the Sunday games, well, they were the peak of the weekend.
Yeah, Freo Sydney was actually game of the round, which was lovely. they just, I think we both said it, they continue to just produce bangers, which is very, very funny. Because I don't know, like earlier this year, Perth, same thing. And then last year was the famous McDonald kick after the siren right after he signed his contract. And we were watching it together then and watched him. It just signed however many years he did and watched him just completely fuck it all.
It was a real, that game was a real snow melter. It was hot.
I could see you thinking of that for the last little bit.
I'm running out very quickly. And then the last game was felt like it was at 12 o'clock. Adelaide, Melbourne. Because the day finished so early.
Overlapping games. You know what? I think I said last week that I didn't mind that it was an earlier one. I take it back. I was wrong. It was the overlap.
Sundays should always either start later or just have 3 games.
Yeah, either go the 2 late ones, like first game at 3:10 and then the second one later, or 3 games.
Just have 3 games. We don't need 2 on a Friday.
No, which was just...
Yeah. It wasn't really stupid sexy, was
it? Good.
Stupid sexy.
Yeah, well played. All right, stupid sexy, round 18, 17. 17 rounds done. What did you find stupid sexy over the weekend? Or what caught the eye of you to salivate in the mouth to be very excited about something?
This is kind of like something that I noticed at the same time. Like we always say, there's sometimes you think of a thing on the weekend, you're like, oh, this is an interesting thing. And I haven't seen anybody bring this up yet. And I've been wanting to. They've brought it up in individual circumstances, but not as a whole. And it is the return of the tackle, right? I don't know if you saw, but on Saturday, 3 games on Saturday, 3 separate players got 15 or more tackles in one game. Matt Real and Tom Atkins both threatened Rory Laird's record, and they both had 17. And Jack Steele finished up the night with 15. This is a bit of a swamp thing. If this ends, I would love to know when the last time 3 players on the same day all had 15 or more tackles, because that is big number. And the Matt Real one was threatening. He had a lot of tackles really early in the game. I think he had 10 to halftime or something like that, or 12 to halftime or something. And it was oh boy. Tom Atkins had 9 in the first quarter. That's fucking insane. So I am highlighting the return of the tackle, because it sometimes a contested midfielder, you see him get a lot of the ball, a lot of contested ball. You see your livers do that kind of stuff. You see it happen. But what, as an underrated thing that a contested midfielder has to do, is they also have to defend and tackle hard. And that's what Matt Real, Tom Atkins, and Jack Steele did on the weekend. And I loved it.
Yeah, we've quoted this before, but I will throw it out there once again for this kind of instance. You like getting your hands dirty. Well, men getting their hands dirty, don't
you? Men getting in and under. Mm. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to give you a bit of frostbite, that one, that's for sure. Yeah.
They're all through. But no, that was my one. What is your one for the weekend?
This one pisses me off. It makes me love him even more at the same time. Right? I don't understand how this happens. Right? We all know individuals, very talented individuals, and they come into the competition, they take it by storm. You're either, the best player in the comp, the first pick in the draft, whatever you may be. Sam Lawler singing on TikTok is not something I predicted, and it just fucking was sensational. Right? Yeah. We all sing in the shower. We all pretend that we've got a second talent that can be singing. Some of us like to think we can play the guitar, but it's just air. This bloke, TikTok debut, I'm sure he's got a few, drafts or private ones that he's made.
Been sitting there for a while. Yeah.
There's always a couple of 3 a.m. makes.
Yep.
But he just comes in, strums his guitar. Hey, I've just done me hammy 12 hours ago, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to sing TikTok. And I'm going to nail it first post.
Yeah, he was very good.
When I saw it, I don't know what's on at the moment, but at the time of seeing this at probably 1 p.m. on a Sunday, working and having 1 hour sleep, I've seen Sam Lawler pop up and sing my heart away. And that was, to me, stupid sexy. Because you know what? He's done for the rest of the year. But you know what he can do now? Solo album.
Grand final entertainment.
Yes. Him and Isaac Rankin doing a duet.
Be pretty good. It's currently on 533,000 views. Doing very, very good. Top comment, very funny. Good thing footy worked out. I think that's a very funny comment, admittedly. But I thought he did all right.
I read through some of the comments before that comment has obviously popped up, and I'm saying, what can't this man do and all that, and I'm just like, I think one said, can he fight? And I'm like, fuck. If an AFL player gets injured or career doesn't work out and then just pops up on your TikTok, what hope do we have?
No, there is absolutely none at all. It's like when Track was injured last year and all of a sudden his cooking videos increased by a lot and you were like, you got a lot more time on your hands, don't you? And that's exactly what he could probably come out with an album now. Now that he's got a lot more time on his hands, he's like, I'll probably just sing a songwriter kind of action.
Australian tour.
Yeah, don't hate it. I don't hate it. You could play before every Richmond home game if you wanted to. Okay. There's a free idea for your Richmond marketing team.
Got one better. AFL. If you're looking for someone to sing the national anthem, the grand final, get one of your own. Save some cash. Put it in his clause of his contract.
Yeah, that'd be good. And it'd bring a lot of eyes because people would be like, let's see what he's got.
Imagine that. You've got I'll use last year's entertainment as the case study. Katy Perry with special guest Sam Lawler. Richmond superstar youngster, number 1 draft pick. Could have a number 1 album. Who knows?
And Mike Brady.
And somehow, we might unwrap him.
He'll always make.
Do you reckon when the AFL does the grand final poster, they just don't delete Mike Brady's name?
They just keep him on there every time. Don't worry about it.
Delete, stay. It's like locked on Canva. It's
always going to be. Always going to be.
I'd imagine if Isaac Rankin was playing in the grand final, which I hope he doesn't, because no boo crows.
Yeah.
Imagine if Isaac Rankin just you can perform the national anthem in your Crows gear and then go, strum, and then kick.
Literally, he runs out. All his mates stand in the line. He's like, "Sorry, boys, so just got to run over here real quick."
Matthew Nix is holding his guitar.
Imagine the post-game entertainment if the Crows got up. Fuck, it'd be going insane. The amount of times it just wheel out the guitar.
The Killers come back.
Oh, fantastic.
Revenge tour.
Fantastic.
Things are supposed to come in full cycle. Full circle, I should say. Speaking of full circle, well, it's not really anything to do with singing at the national anthem, but it is to do with a tournament and a cup. I saw this today, and I think it was the first thing I saw when I went on Twitter. And I was like, that's enough for me. First 3 things I saw on Twitter were Nico Hulkenberg getting a podium for the first time in F1.
Yep.
And the AFL want to have a mid-season tournament. Sam Powell-Pepper. 3 completely different emotions in the space of 15 seconds of scrolling.
Oh my God. What the fuck?
I felt the roller coaster and I was like, I'm not ready to start the day yet. But yeah, they want to start a mid-season. Well, they're thinking about starting a mid-season tournament. This could very well end up being AFLX 2.0. And the structure of it, JT, is I didn't mind the idea of, all right, everyone plays each other once. We have gather round. The rivalries are twice. Not bad, right? And then you have the mid-season tournament. So the structure of it balances, looks the same. I don't like the guaranteed final spot. I don't like putting the prize on it because then it's like, well, what are we all playing for throughout the year?
Yeah.
And 3, waste of money.
Yeah.
You already got enough problems. The AFLW is losing money. You've got, too many rules, not enough umpires, problems with scoring. You're putting money on the line for something, you can use it for somewhere else. And it's like, I see the idea, I see the vision. No.
It's hilarious, right? Here's a fucking rant that I've been having today. This is a thing that's been boiling on my fucking brain for a really long time today, right? And I need to scream it at the world. There is this obviously price, which is like, great. Where are you getting it from? My mic is dying on me, which is a case of how angry I'm going to get here. Right, all this prize money that is coming. I suppose you've got a bunch of money sitting around, laying around, doing whatever the case may be. Right, same day, or over the last couple of days, reports come out about the AFLW and about how the league is sending out memos to clubs being like, the only way we are going to make money is if the on-field performance becomes better. All right. Now, we both play footy. You get better playing football by training.
One of us now.
Well, we both have played football and do. You get better by training. You get better by practicing. You get better by being at the club, having footy in your hands, doing things you need to do. So with this money that the AFL has suddenly come across, maybe it'd be a cool idea, maybe, to pay the AFLW players enough money so they don't have to have another job. So it splits their time at the football club, meaning they have half the training, meaning they have half the time, half the season, half the exposure to the game. Maybe if you allow them to do the sport that they want to play, that you want to earn so much money off, if you allow them to be the full-time athletes that they need to be, the on-field performance will improve. You will get more money. You won't have to do a fucking mid-season tournament to try and boost ratings or anything like that, because the ratings will just be fine. Maybe.
I agree. I have nothing to add to that. Unless they painted the pitch a different colour. Then you might.
If it was blue, then you've got my attention.
No, I was thinking purple.
I was thinking like Australian Open blue, like blue clay, Pretty good.
And the ball lit up every time I went through the goals.
Yeah, no, every time someone kicks it, like a fucking, like one of those things.
Like fluoro.
Yeah,
the crack.
Yeah, I'm about it. Then do it.
Or maybe when I watch a score review, you could use the money to be like, maybe I'll rewind back a bit further to see if it was touched. Or maybe I'll actually get a camera quality that is not a Samsung 8.
That's another. Just giving all these money to these people, and all these teams that are winning fucking whatever. How about you spend it on your own things, like a camera that's going to work?
Yeah. And you also get enough money by winning the McLennan Trophy, which is like something the AFLW can strive for as well. So it's all inclusive. It's not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Might be the worst idea they've ever come up with. Maybe.
Nah, I still think AFLX is the worst.
You know what? At least it was fun. At least the boys had fun.
No, it was not fun. It was
the boys
terrible.
had fun though. They had fun doing it, and
I don't give a shit what they liked. I want the NAB Cup back.
Yeah, so you do that.
Or if the mid-season tournament does occur, which I don't think so. I think they've just thrown it out there as a bit of bait to see if it's
happening. Yeah.
If it's see how the people feel.
Yep.
Make it a nighttime thing though. If it's going to be a mid-season thing, all night throughout the week.
Yep.
And I think it'd be a good opportunity. You'd see the first year if they did it, how the clubs would take it seriously. Because if you see a whole bunch of SANFL players or VFL players running around,
it's just an opportunity for a lot of AFL and SANFL boys to run around, isn't it?
But hey, you know what you could do instead of a mid-season tournament? Maybe, just maybe, you could just have a premier reserves comp.
Please.
Have every game be a curtain opener, curtain raiser.
The AFL just makes it so difficult on themselves, I think. I think the options are very easy and very simple and right in front of them. that would make life a lot easier, and they just choose not to.
I think I like to rule out the harder ones first by doing them.
Yeah, they're like, you know what? Let's just see if it works. We'll just give it a crack, and then if it doesn't, that's all right.
Never mind.
It's like how they started the AFLW. They're like, just put every team out there. It's gonna suck for a while, but then it might be all right. It's not how it works.
It's like, look, here's the thing. Stop.
Please.
Just stop.
Oh well. They won't learn.
But we won't have it. It's fine. I believe.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen either. Well, I saw in the thing today, it was like they're gonna bring it in when Tassie joins the team, and I fucking think Tassie's gonna have a team. So could be never.
Yeah. When Tassie joins the league with their open ground.
When they just end up playing at Ninja Stadium just because that's just how it is.
Blow it up. Blow up the idea and blow up Tassie.
I saw a thing the other day and it was like, fuck it, I'm starting my own campaign. Because there's all the campaigns, it's like, we want the team, we want the stadium. There's ones where it's like, we want the team, but we don't want the stadium. I saw someone like, fuck it, I'm doing my own thing. I want the stadium, I don't want the team. Just stood in $1 billion stadium. I don't want anyone to play in it. I think it'll just look cool.
It's like all those World Cup stadiums that are just like built for the one tournament.
That don't get used anymore. They would just sit there.
Literally.
Wasn't
South Africa's one as well. It was just build a whole bunch of.
Build them and then they just let them sit there. And now they're just like these big coliseums that do nothing.
They don't even hold concerts there.
Nah, nothing. Qatar is never going to use those stadiums ever again. They'll probably bulldoze them soon.
Like, do you remember this?
Do
you remember the Tassie Stadium that was built on the docks?
Oh, dear.
I'd start the campaign. Build the stadium. Build the team.
Play the
Piss off the mascot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my campaign would be build the stadium, build the team, keep the mascot, play at Launceston.
Let the stadium rust for a while.
Let it simmer.
Yeah. It's to sit there for a little while.
Let it catch a couple of snowflakes. Does snow in Tassie?
It does. It's very cold down.
If they build the stadium, it will come. And I will come. All right. The main purpose of this whole episode is to do a ladder predictor. We were going to do it last week, but we got lazy. And this is your typical thing, right? And the whole core of this last table podcast is to sit around, talk shit, and predict things.
Yep.
So we've done bold predictions this year. We've done top 8 predictions. We've done this and that. We've done a whole bunch of stuff. The whole point is to predict who will finish it. And look, it's probably made it a bit easier at the moment because it's like 9 teams that definitely are in the hunt. But you never know. Footy's funny. Richmond won the last 9 of their games in 2014 and finished in 8th. And then got absolutely pumped by the pair at Adelaide Oval against the Prison Bars. You never know. Someone could do that here. So we're going to predict the ladder. We won't go dive into every single game. No. We'll come back to round 18 and do our tips. But we'll literally go through gut feel, see how it feels, and light this bitch up.
We got it back.
Oh, yeah. Starting with round 18. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I got it up.
The ladder currently at the moment is the Pies, the Lions, the Crows, the Cats, the Hawks, the Dogs, the Suns, the Giants, and Freo are in 9th, and everyone else is just a big loser. So, we'll start off with the first game of round 18. Carlton Lions. Well, you know that's going to be Lions.
Yep.
It's at Marvel. You never know. You never know. They're winning by 40.
20-point margin. What did you have them as?
40. Actually, you know what? Don't do margins because actually could come down to percentage though.
So we'll just leave it at 20 and see how we go.
I don't. It's all at 20, and if it changes, the laws of average means if you don't win by 20, you're fucked.
It's fine.
Gold Coast, Collingwood, people first.
Should be the Pies, you'd think.
Yep. The Dogs and the Crows.
I'm big on the Dogs. Very big.
Me too. I think the Dogs win this week.
Yeah, I think the Dogs get it done too.
Giants, Cats at NG.
Good game. Giants beat them down there early this year. Cats could very well get one back and knock them off. Good form, the Catters.
I like the Cats.
Yeah, I like it too.
This is a nothing game, but Essendon beat the Tigers.
Yep.
Freo Hawks at Optus.
Freo need to win this.
Good round this one.
Need to win this. This is a desperate Freo win.
I think they do win it.
Yep, I agree.
D's beat North.
Yep.
The Swans beat the Saints.
Yep.
And the Pair beat the Eagles.
Yep, done. Not a lot of changing towards the back end of that one.
No, but if I look at them winning by if Freo win and the Giants lose after round 18, the Dockers are in the 8 and the Giants are out.
Yes, and I think I predicted the Giants to be the one that miss of all the teams that were left. I think last week I said the Giants were going to be the ones that made their way out. So we'll see.
And this early point, you're right. Round 19, we start off on a Thursday night. The Dons and the Giants. Well, the Giants win.
Giants win by a lot.
Yeah. Fortunately, they're staying at 20. But the Lions, Dogs.
They haven't been great at the Gabba. Obviously, they won this weekend there, but they haven't been fantastic there this year.
Can their defense hold up against the forward line of the Dogs?
I don't think so. We saw on Thursday, shout out to Will Dawson, by the way, had an incredible game against Sam Darcy for 3 quarters and then had to move off him because they lost, they had to plug a few holes and then Sam Darcy kicked 4. Like, for the 3 quarters he played directly on him, did incredible. So shout out Will Dawson. But the Lions are missing a couple. Obviously, Jack Payne is done for the year. So I like the Dogs in this one, I think.
Darcy Gardner comes back in after being the sub. Yeah, it's hard to predict because it's like if they lose to the Crows, then I'm like, well, I'm tipping the Lions. So.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's one of those ones where you just know idea.
I'm big on the Dogs, though. I think generally they're good.
Yeah,
this year with Sam Darcy as the powerhouse. Hawks power at Tassie.
Tassie. Bit of a fortress down there.
I know. But also, you've just got Ken's playing.
That's true. Ken's playing V2.
The Hawks win.
Yeah.
Just. Swans North.
Swannies.
Swans. Blues D's. Nothing game. But you know what?
The battle of mid.
You know what? This is the one. Saves Voss's job.
Yeah. It's like you lose this, you're out kind of deal. And then I reckon something happens. Cribaz 40 and 4. And the Blues get the job. I actually agree with that. I reckon the Blues get the job done.
Yeah, the D's also would probably kick like 9-18 or...
Yeah, very true.
1 goal, 74.
Very.
Eagles, Tigers at Optus.
Are they both on Saturday night? Oh my God.
Yeah, this is the one to book your event on. I have a beer pong tournament and I'm very excited.
Yeah, good call.
I'm not going to give 2 shits.
Yuck.
Eagles.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah, they need another win somewhere. That'll be the one.
Cats, Saints, GMHBA. The Cats by about 900.
Hey, we're hanging in there.
All right, sorry, 894.
Thank you.
Pies, Dockers. Oh, good 245 game at the G.
Yeah, nice. That'll be a good Sunday. This are going to be a good game, but I think the Pies will get the job done. Yeah.
Could be one of those ones. So the Pies in these 2 rounds, you've got them playing the Suns and Freo. Either of them could be just a little upset, and you'd probably lean towards the Suns at home. Yeah. The Dockers at the G just pulling off one of their upset G wins.
You can kind of feel it a little bit. Like you're like maybe. Yeah.
Or Freo will be really good and they find a way to lose.
Yeah, because they do that. They do good at that too. Also, I'm getting 2023 vibes all over this Collingwood team right now. And the way they ended 2023 was they just put the Q in the rack and we're just going to chill. And they've lost, I think they went 1-4 in their last 5 games. So I think at some point in this last 5, Collingwood has to lose like a couple. Probably.
Let's hope they save it for the finals.
Or they could just save it for the finals and then lose. But I think they did it on purpose last time. They were just like queue in the rack, don't care.
They'll probably do the same. I don't think they're going to do it just yet. I think they'll do it.
I think it'll be the last like 2 rounds. Like
Two or
side
three.
bottom, Pendles, all those guys. None of them will play. They'll just be like, nah, have you go.
Have a rest, lads.
Yeah.
Crows, Suns. The Suns match up really well against the Crows.
And I just think they're really talented, the Suns. Like they're in ninth right now, and I'm like,
this
man.
is the game, right? This is the game. This will be the deciding factor between the Crows and a top 4 finish, and the Suns and making finals.
Yeah.
The way the Crows played on the weekend, losing Rochelle as well, just detoured my feeling just a little bit. They faltered, right?
Yeah.
They won the game. They win the games they should win. They're 9-0 against the bottom 9 so far.
Yeah, which is good.
But with them, it's like Collingwood as well. You just sense there is just going to be a patch where it's like
they get a bit shaky.
Where's your shitness?
I think
I don't know if they've had it earlier in the year when they lost to Freo and those losses.
Yeah, they had a couple when like the Cats at the start of gather around and stuff. But again, they're against like good teams still. I just think
Suns at home. I love the home factor for the Crows.
Yeah, I know. I just think the Suns are way too talented to be sitting in ninth.
Lost a couple of games they should have won, like the Giants one where they started with a 6-goal first quarter.
Yeah,
a couple of others.
Richmond at Marvel.
Richmond at Marvel. I like it. I think the Suns win.
Yeah, I'm backing in.
I'm still big on the Crows, but I think.
Yeah. I just think I think Gold Coast are a level above like your Giants and your Freo kind of thing. Like they're getting lumped in with them, and I'm like, I just think they're better than those teams.
We need 14 wins to properly make it. They have a good percentage, though.
I saw a stat today that Freo are the first team to win 10 games by round 16, or like 10 of their first 16 games and not be in the 8. I'm like, man, that's so fucking grim.
That's insane. Also, after the first 2 rounds that we've done, heading into the final 5, we've got the Crows, the Suns, the Giants, and Freo all level.
Oh, boy. Interesting.
It also is like the Suns have an extra game up their hand. They play Essendon, which is just like
they're just gonna make it. They're gonna do it. They're finally gonna do it. I'm gonna call it now.
Round 20, Hawks Blues on a Thursday night.
Hawks by 1 million.
Yep. Essendon Dogs by 1 million.
By 1 million.
We got another. How do we have the Battle of the Bridge on a Friday night as well here, by the way?
Double headers again. That one should be a good game. Yeah. Giants Sydney.
Giants
will win, yeah. They do good.
Suns Brisbane.
Oh, it's a rivalry round. It's actually retro round. But rivalry round because then Freo West Coast. Interesting. And then showdown.
Retro round.
Well, it's St Kilda's retro round.
Oh. Thanks for that update, Chief.
Yep.
At People First, 12:50. It's not so much where that's been played; it's the time zone, or not the time zone, the time of the game. Early. Brisbane just never seemed to win early on a Saturday.
I was gonna say Brisbane in a night game, very good. Brisbane in a day game, other than the grand final, obviously.
I think they beat them. I think they get them. I think the Lions. They're too good. I genuinely think they're good.
I'll back it in, but I controversially don't think Brisbane are as good as like the Dogs or the Cats. I think those two teams are a level above.
I think that's their time and they run perfectly again.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Why do you think the Suns win this?
If I was going to pick an upset, I would have been like, yeah, but I also saw earlier this year that Brisbane match up pretty well against Gold Coast. So it's tough to go against the Lions.
Freo West Coast.
Freo by 1 million.
Cats North at Marvel.
Cats by 1 million.
Crows pair.
Always good showdown. No matter who is good and who's shit, it's always pretty good.
Generally think we're going to win this one too because it's like if the Crows are still on a run,
it'd be the one to stop them. And they've beaten you this year. It feels like you split them pretty often.
But I'm tipping the Crows. Here,
it depends how much. To be fair, Port have a lot of injuries now, which is
no big Sav.
Again, yeah, no Sav, which makes me so sad. That was the most depressing injury list I've read. No Sav, no Pau Pepper, no Vizentini. I think Crows get done.
3 good names of Port.
Yeah,
they look good on paper.
Radigalia, Vizentini.
We've lost one of the hyphen boys.
What are the crew?
Collingwood, well, they're not dropping this one.
By a million.
Collingwood, Richmond. Saints, D's.
We're getting the job done here. Saints
the Saints, the D's hate Marvel.
Hate Marvel and hate playing us.
Yeah.
Very,
very obscure. But, back the Saints soon. They'll get one of the wins on the road.
Yep.
Right, round 21.
Good Thursday footy.
Finally.
Great Thursday footy.
Thursday night.
Just me or the Dogs play every Thursday. Like they are guaranteed to play every single Thursday.
Thursday or Friday.
They played us on a Thursday. They played last week on a Thursday. They played the Giants on a Thursday. They played the Pies on a Thursday. No, that was a Friday. My apologies. They play a lot of Thursdays.
Crows on a Saturday, Arvo, this week.
Crows on a Saturday, Arvo.
Interesting. Dogs, Giants, Thursday night, Marvel.
Giving the Dogs a lot of wins. I'm like, they got to drop one somewhere. I don't know if this is the one, though.
But maybe they're just that good.
Maybe they are. I am fully on board the Dogs. I think they're so
Me
good.
too, but I also think the Giants... Is Sam Taylor going to be back by this point?
Could be. Could be the answer to stopping Darcy. Because then you got Taylor and Buckley on Darcy and Norton, and that just rules out everything. So,
although the Giants hate playing the Dogs.
I'm going the Dogs again.
Me too. Oh, Crows, Hawks, Friday night football. Love a primetime home game, the Crows.
I'm backing in the Crows here.
Me too.
Yep.
The Hawks don't convince me yet.
No.
They could change week to week, but they just don't convince me. They seem like they're just your typical 5th to 8th team.
Yeah.
Where it's
they're doing the same thing they did last year, basically, where it's like they could be something, but probably not. And it's just like one of those things.
I don't think anyone will watch this game, especially at Marvel.
Marvel at 120. Grim.
D's, Eagles. There'll be more Eagles fans than D's fans.
I was about to say, there's going to be 8,000 people.
D's.
Yeah, D's. They'll get it done.
Suns, Tigers, Suns.
Suns, revenge.
Swans, Dons, SCG, Essendon will not win this game. Essendon might not win a game for the rest of the year.
I think they're done. I think they win not Dream Time. They win against the Tigers, and then that's it.
Yep. Agree with that. So Pies, standalone Saturday night game.
It's good.
At the G. Grand final official rematch.
Yeah.
It's at the G. Could be a prequel to the new year.
Could be the preview.
Brisbane really like playing good games at the G too.
Could
be the one.
I think this is the one. I reckon we should go the Lions here because I don't think the Pies win every single game heading in the back end. I think they have to lose one, and I reckon this is it.
Yeah.
Lions.
Pies still have a 10-point lead, just 2.5 games.
They're still going to finish on top. It's fine, but I think the Lions are going to get there.
And you can just predict it as well. All the Pies fans come out and go, we're half-assing it.
Yeah, what does it matter?
Yeah. Super Sunday.
Oh.
St Kilda North, Montana, GMHBA. At Marvel.
Saints North games at Marvel are fucking hell.
At least they brought it 3 hours earlier than normal.
Exactly. So that's always a win. And we always beat them. we beat North all the time.
I'm tipping the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going the Saints too. We moved off 15th. Come on.
No, you're into 14th. There is like 5 teams within the space of 11th to 15th.
Forever.
The Cats and the Power. Cats. It's that GMHP. Oh, we met them last year and just down there, man. Still a 50-0 head start. Oh, Freo winning the last game of the round 2, and we're playing Optus, and that puts them back in the 8.
I was going to say, having a look after 21 rounds, my apologies, the Giants are still out.
As we head into round 22, it's the Pies, the Cats, the Lions, the Dogs. They're the top 4. They're a game ahead of the Crows in 5th, who are equal with Hawthorn in 6th, and Freo also equal in 7th. The Suns are holding on by percentage against the Giants, who had locked in at 9th and 8th with 48. The Swans still 2 games out and a bit of percentage, but a sniff.
Yes.
That's mathematical. We're not talking like they're going to make it.
Well, it's barely, though, because the Suns have that extra game. Like, it's just that extra game it really gives the Suns a big
I know. You forget about that.
Yeah, you do.
I can't wait to watch it on Tuesday night.
It'll be so good.
Against Essendon.
We'll record our episode before the game. Our episode will be almost entirely a preview of the game to come.
I just generally think we live stream it.
That could work too, actually. That'll work even better. Yeah, we'd do the episode while live streaming, basically.
Fantastic. I love that. Hawks, Pies on a Thursday night at the G. Could be another one the Pies drop.
Could be. Hawks will be playing with a lot, like trying to make top 4. I'm actually willing to tip the Hawks here. Hawthorn play pretty good against them too. Jack Ginnivan plays pretty good against them.
I also love to bounce back after a loss to Pies.
True.
I will tip the Hawks too.
Yeah, back it in.
Because the Pies will be like, I know what their run home is, and they'll be like, right, we'll pick our moment to just
exactly, and
play that really good game.
Yeah, they'll still finish on top, but they'll
a lot more to play for here.
Yeah.
Cats Don, Cats
by a million.
Richmond St Kilda at the G.
Yeah. This is very much a game the Saints could drop, but I don't think we do. I think we're still too good for them.
Noah Bolter can play this one.
That changes a lot.
Even though he played on the weekend, it looked like he was playing like basketball. He looked like Noah Bolter on the weekend looked like he was playing with like a nephew or a niece at the park. Couldn't pick up the ball, but was just like, I'll give him a chance.
Just let him have it. You'll be right.
I'll take the Saints.
Yeah, we're back at 11th.
Hold fort.
Whoa.
Hold fort. Shut up.
That was a massive jump.
You're a game ahead. Brisbane, Sydney at the Gabba. I'd be tipping the Lions here. And that will effectively end the Swan season.
Yeah, that's it.
Carlton Suns at Marvel.
The Suns have kind of gotten over their Marvel shit.
Yeah, they'll win this one. Carlton are terrible. Port Freo. Now,
I think I'm with you on this one.
Port are not the team. No. And I'm not being biased. I just know them, right?
Yeah.
And they are not the team. Every time Ken Hinkley has been under the pump or hasn't made finals, I swear to God, we win like 5 out of the last 6 games and miss out on playing finals by like percentage or a game.
Yeah,
out.
It makes you look a lot better, even though you were never a chance.
2015, the first time we missed finals under Ken, we lost to the Dogs on a Saturday Arvo by 90 points. It put us a game out and a bit of percentage. We weren't making it. We won the last 4 by a combined total of 150 points.
Mate, look easy.
Brendan Archie was best on ground in all of them, I think. They unearthed the talent. Port to win this.
Yeah, I think so too. And put Freo season on ice.
Because
you look at the next game.
Giants beat North.
Yep.
Dogs beat the D's and the Rose Pump. Tex might kick 10 again.
Yeah, it's probably going to happen. Everyone's like, Texas done. He's done nothing, whatever. And I'm like, he'll probably kick fucking 14 against the Eagles.
Yeah, he'll just absolutely dominate that.
Yeah, but the Giants are back in the 8 and Freo are out.
Yes, as we go into round 23, we've got 2 rounds to go, and still the Pies on top, a game ahead of the Cats, the Lions, it's all up in the air still. Top spot. The Dogs, a game ahead of the Crows, and the Hawks equal with the Crows, the Suns, the Giants, and Freo all linked, but the Suns have a game in hand.
Yeah, and Sydney are officially out. Like officially out. That was the pending last result. So it's going to be very, very rough for them to get it in anyway. But yeah,
this is where it gets juicy and dicey.
Yes.
Essendon St Kilda to start off the round.
Saints win. Friday night footy. Enjoy, everybody.
I think everyone will be watching the Freo Lions game.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah, look, I'll give it to the Saints because it's here. I honestly think about tipping Essendon because I still think but they just can't lose every game from here, surely.
Can't lose everyone, can they? They got to win some, and winning that puts us 4 wins in a row. And I'm like, I don't know about that.
It's not happening, but we'll just put it there for the sake of it. Freo Brisbane. I am tipping Freo.
I'm gonna say it's Freo.
Freo win.
Yeah.
What about the day to start it off with a bit of Suns Giants at 12:05?
8th versus 9th.
Roles reversed on this one?
Yeah, I think the Suns get this one done. I do.
Yep. I'll tip the Suns. Carlton Port. Even though it's at Marvel, Port.
Yeah.
Hawks. I don't lose at Marvel often. Hawks. Now, remember how I said before the Crows love to win a primetime game at Adelaide Oval? Do you know who loves not losing at Adelaide Oval?
Collingwood. They fucking love Adelaide Oval. And I think, by judging by how we've done it, they've lost their last 2, and people are like, maybe the Pies are beatable. And this is the game where they'll come out, beat the Crows by fucking 60 and be like, lol.
Not even 60. Just like it's a wet night. I can picture it's a wet night. Win by 3 or 4 points.
Oh. I was going to say it's one of those comfortable ones where it's like never too far away, but never too close. Just sit in the middle.
20 points.
I think Pies win anyway.
Yeah, I'm tipping Pies. North. Why?
North, because it's Tassie, but yeah.
Cats beat the Swans at SCG, and the Dogs pump.
Dogs win by 1,000,000.
As we head into the last round, it is Collingwood on top, a game ahead of the Cats. The Dogs are 3rd, Brisbane are 4th, the Hawks are 5th, the Crows are 6th, equal with Adelaide, equal with the Suns in 7th, equal with Freo in 8th, and the Giants 9th.
So here's a bit of math just quickly, without looking at what games are coming up next kind of thing. Just off this alone, Cats can finish top if they win and Pies lose, that kind of thing. That's fine. The Dogs can't finish on top, but they can finish 2nd, so they get themselves a home final. The Lions can finish as high as 3rd, and that's about it as well. Hawks can push their way into 3rd too. Crows can only get to 5th, so they won't be able to make the top 8. Same with the Suns and Freo. The Giants can make the 8 above the Crows, the Suns, or Freo if all 3 lose at the same time. But you only need one of them to lose, the Giants. And they need to win pretty comfortably for the percentage. Obviously, everyone else is out. But yeah, that's kind of the interesting one. But you also have to remember the Suns have 2 games left. The Suns win 2 of those games. They can go from 56 to 64. If everyone else loses above them, very tough to do, obviously. But if everybody else loses above them, the Suns could finish as high as 3rd.
Percentage comes into the equation on that, but yes.
Extreme, but like mathematically speaking, they could finish as high as 3rd. But we'll find out.
Wow, crazy. And if you look at our predictor, the Cats and the Dogs both haven't lost a game in the last 5.
Yeah, a bit of form.
Giants, well, it's not obviously predicted with the weekend, but if it went in with this round, we have predicted actually how the last round would look.
Yep.
And I've got it here. And this is where
Good call.
So we're going to start with Port Suns
on a Thursday night
at the Adelaide Oval on Thursday night.
Yep.
And this is where I think we make it juicy. Because I honestly think you're not going to have any hope in hell that Port are losing their last game at home for Ken
I was just about to say for Can and maybe for
Probably
Travis.
for Trav.
Yeah. I don't think Port lose either.
They win this last game.
I think it's a send off too. Port.
Essendon Carlton. I think the Blues win.
Who can be less shit? Blues win.
Blues win to finish it off.
Yeah.
Send them on a high. Richmond Geelong.
I'm trying to find it. Where'd you go? There you are. Geelong, obviously.
Geelong win.
Move themselves into first for just a second. Just a moment.
Just a second. Brisbane Hawthorn.
Good game. The Gabba.
Brisbane.
Now, this game is for top 4. Winner of this finishes top 4.
We've also put this at 3:45 on a Saturday, which if it went by what we've got as a ladder, that is definitely a prime time game.
Yeah, that's okay. Did you say Brisbane?
Yeah.
I'll go Brisbane as well. I think they're too good to fall out of the top 4.
Dogs Freo.
Good game again. This is must win for Freo. Have to win.
It's a game where I honestly think Freo hate Marvel.
Yeah, they don't like playing there. They don't. And the Dogs love it there. Like fucking love it.
Do the Dogs lose a game?
They have to somewhere. That is true. They do have to somewhere.
And you wouldn't mind losing and staying at home rather than travelling. Because if the Dogs played a final against the Cats, who'd probably finish second, there's a very, very good chance the AFL might just be like, hey, look, actually, GMHBA.
I think I'd still put it the G, but you'd hate it. You'd fucking hate it.
I want to tip Freo.
You tip Freo, it kills the Giants season.
The Suns could lose to the Bombers at home. But you said the Giants wouldn't make it.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not saying like it. I'm not saying it as in like I think the Giants are too good to be now.
This is very funny because the way we've put it is we put both games at the same time on a Saturday night. That'd
be so good. We have spoken about many times about how we want the last round to all be played at the same time because it'd be really fun. And that's the closest we're gonna get to it. Let's tip Freo. Let's do it. Season on the line.
The Giants beat the Saints.
Yeah.
And they miss out on percent. Well, we'll find out in a second. Collingwood thrash Melbourne at the G and get themselves a top spot.
I mean, it's going to be home qualifying anyway, but top spot, yeah.
Suns, the North versus Adelaide.
Adelaide
win puts them as a home final.
Nice.
So we're talking about small things. They get a home final.
Yep.
And then the Eagles and Swans, the Swans win.
Yeah, Swans win, and then last game.
Puts them in 10th. If there was a wild card round, the Swans would win to make the wild card round.
Yeah.
To play Freo.
You know what? We were talking about the mid-season thing. I'm okay with the wild card round. It shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen, but I think it'd be funny.
I don't want to give myself more false hope to the fact if we make 10th and be like, fuck, we're a chance.
We're in.
I also love to make history and be the first team to win a flag from 10th.
See, that's what makes it good, right? Like, imagine like doing the dream all the way through. It'd be pretty good.
I love what Damo said during the week. He was like, why the fuck should we reward someone a chance to play finals? You've got 24 other fucking weeks to do it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's what the whole point of the home and away season is.
Literally, you've got 24 rounds. You don't need a mid-season tournament. You don't need this and that. You don't need any piece of help you can get. You've got 24 games there. If you can't win them, we're going on a September holiday.
Yeah, fair.
Suns beat Dons.
Yeah, the Suns beat the Bombers to prove themselves into a home.
This is what we want. This is what I wanted, and I'm glad we've done it. So, our final ladder, we actually go to finals on this one. That's pretty cool. We might do that.
I don't mind it.
Okay, cool. So, our predicted ladder from all this is Pies get the top spot. They can become the minor premiers.
Yeah.
Geelong finish second comfortably, and I generally think they are the answer to the Pies.
I'm just looking at our 5 to 8, and I'm like, Jesus Christ!
I know. I've just seen that as well. and this is where it gets a bit spicy because I'll mention it in a second. But the Lions are third. The draw gets them a final against the Cats. Who would have thought? The Dogs get a final at home. I love the Dogs playing at the G. They just look good at the G for some reason, and that's going to be a real aesthetically pleasing.
It will be. It very, very
blue
much.
And black.
Also, Collingwood Dogs play good games. They play good games against each other.
We could get 100 to 100 sort of atmosphere there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like it. So they finished in the 4th spot. The Crows from 5th. Brisbane won it from 5th last year, so interesting to see. But they will be accompanied in 6th by the Suns, who are 9% away from 5th. The Hawks are 3% away from a home final. They play the Suns, and the Freo Dockers are also 8% away from playing a home final. So they will end up on 60.
Yeah. Now that's what I was going to say. Now we haven't done percentage in this because we didn't want to drag it out too long, kind of thing. So basically, let's just say that anywhere in that 5 to 8, you could probably move them around a little bit. There might be a couple little minor adjustments, but just if it was all 20-point games, that's where we're at.
We're basing on current form as well, and the way we've gone about it is the fact that we've made. If you make the 8, you've got to win 15 times.
It's a lot of work. it's a lot of work.
Definitely think any of the top 8 could still just be like, nah, we're going to have a shit period and everything, bit of spice in it. But that's our top 8. The Giants miss out on a game. Swans in 10th, Port 11th, Saints 12th, Carlton 13th, Melbourne 14th, Essendon 15th, North 16th, Richmond 17th, and the Eagles are getting the spoon again. Do we want to predict finals?
Yeah, let's do it. Where do I go? Finals.
Finals time. Oh, what a week. What a great week. I might screenshot that and put that as a little prediction thing.
Underrated thing here. I think the first week of finals is one of my favorite just things ever. It's almost better than like grand final. Grand final is one game. First week of finals, there's a lot of games on. It's like a Thursday, Friday, to Saturday, or like a Saturday, Sunday. And I'm like, man, it's just so good. It's so much fun. I love the first week of finals. And I love prelim final weekend. That's fantastic too. Oh, it's beautiful.
The sadness is grand final week because you realise there's only 2 teams to play. There's one game.
One game and it's 2 teams. And you're like, oh, it's over.
And it's at 2 o'clock. So it's like...
It's over before
early. Yeah. Sucks to suck.
I'm sure I'll love it if my team makes another one.
And then you guess what? 2 weeks later, after a long weekend in October. Hello, trade period.
Roll our way back in.
And then we have 17 different delisted and non-delisted and supplementary player and season drafts and mid-drafts and little drafts and baby drafts and all that kind.
And all of a sudden you have 14 new players on your list and you don't know any.
All of a sudden it's March and you're playing opening round it.
Yeah. And that is what happens. Footy season fucking rolls around so fast.
Mum, I want a membership for Christmas. No. All right. Don't really know when these times will be played. I honestly think the Thursday night would be the elimination final. They love putting a Thursday night game at the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah. Freo. Would be good.
Unfortunately for Freo, this is where it ends.
Yeah, I think that's them done. And Crows too
so
good.
The Crows win. Friday night.
Friday.
Yep, and I see the Pies winning.
Yep.
The Suns and Hawks would be the Saturday twilight. Yep. I think they make it, but I don't think they win it. I think the Hawks.
I think the Hawks do it too.
Yeah. Something about there'll be one thing about making it, another thing where the Hawks love ruining things. So
they do. Yeah,
imagine the Suns go on a generational run.
Just fire.
Matt Rowell's a premiership player.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Collingwood versus the Gold Coast Suns as a grand final. You'd have 99,995 people in black and white and 5 Suns.
Any neutral going to that game has to wear like a Suns thing.
I'd be all over it.
Gotta wear red. Yeah.
The Cats Lions. The G could be a GMHP. I'd piss it. They'd be like, "Hey, guess what? You're gonna get a home final."
If it was of all the interstate teams, if it was anyone but Brisbane and Sydney. I reckon Brisbane and Sydney are the two where they'd be like, no, you got to play the G. Everyone else, I think they'd be like, you can have it at G match. Yeah, it's fine.
You know what? At the G, the Lions.
Yep, I'll back it in too. They love the G.
Fantastic. Dogs, Crows at the G. Now, if it was at Marvel, I'd be like, hey, Dogs, easily.
By a bit.
At the G.
I don't think the Crows have the... I mean, they've got a good back line, but like...
I can see the Crows doing a great run in finals, but not a grand final. I don't think. I think their best is a prelim.
Yeah.
Like you have the idea in their head, but I think you don't have a run like they've had and not get somewhere. I'd honestly tip the Crows here, but I think the Dogs have...
We've given the Dogs a lot of love, and I feel like it'd be rude of us not to give them a bit more love going through.
The Dogs also would be it's one of those things, they're just a bit more mature in this instance.
Yeah, I was going to say, they know September pretty well. Like, they've got players still from the grand final, like the winning team. They've got a lot of players from the 2021 team. Obviously, last year didn't go well for them, but they probably just weren't. Like, the Hawks were on a ridiculous run last year. So, yeah, I'm going to go the Dogs, just based on experience alone.
I think the Cats beat the Hawks too. Yeah. All right. What a final round. Yeah. What a prelim.
Pies Cats being a prelim doesn't sit right with me.
And I'm very glad it is. Now, I won't predict. Let's not predict the grand finalists per se.
No.
Winner yet. Let's just think, what would be your dream grand final?
From this position?
I
would love Collingwood Dogs, man. I would love.
I'm the same. So you think Collingwood Dogs is what you'd like?
That is what I would love. From this position right here, I would love Collingwood Dogs.
Compare that to what you think would happen from where we are at round 17.
Where we are right now, it feels like it's going to be Pies Cats. That's where that's what I feel like we're at. But I would love for it to be a Pies Dogs. You're the same with Pies Dogs. What do you think it is now? Do you think it's a Pies Lions, or do you think it's a...
I think it's Pies Lions. I think we're getting a rematch. I think we're getting a Rocky 2.
Fitting, like last two grand finalists going at it again. It'd be a pretty... Seems to happen kind of regularly. Like the last two grand finalists, like last two winners kind of going at it again, kind of thing. Like the Cats and Pies did it 09-10 and then played off in 11. So it's kind of like the same thing. I do definitely see that happening again. Pies Lions again.
I see it. Yeah. From this position, what would you tip? Grand finalists.
Pies too good. Too well-rounded. They have one of the greatest players of our generation. They have an incredible captain who's playing his best year in a long time, Darcy Moore. They have just some unbelievably underrated role players and players that just get their job done without needing to say much. They have the experience in September to be able to do it again. A great coach, great fans. Pies, I think.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. I just think
it's just impossible to see. Like you can, it's impossible not to see them playing on that last day.
Pies could lose every game from here to the end of the year, and all of a sudden we're talking completely different things. But you look at it right now and how they're playing, and even when they play shit, they still play good. And it's like, all right. I think they're going to be okay. So, Pies for me.
I think I'll take this other game then, because I think the Lions Dogs, right? If there's ever a team the Lions don't want to play in finals, it's the Dogs. Yeah. The tall forward line, the match up really well in the midfield. Defensively, the Dogs can hold up, and the Lions don't have a bad power. They have to rely on a midfielder having it, like a Zach Bailey.
Well, they need Logan Morris to fucking do what he does every now and then and kick fucking six. Yeah, no, I agree. Also, just quickly as well, it feels like I've watched a million prelims at the Gabba. It feels like all I fucking do is watch prelims at the Gabba, which is, I know it's wrong. It's happened so much.
I feel like there's too much finals at the Gabba.
I feel like, that's probably more like it. I watch so many fucking finals at the Gabba, and it is infuriating.
Like 2023 preliminary final Gabba. Last year, semi-final.
Qualifying semi, prelim. No, not semi. Qualifying.
No, they came from 5th. So they had an elimination
Elimination.
final against the Blues, and then it was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So in this instance, I'd actually tip the Dogs. If it got to this position, I'd tip the Dogs.
Yeah, if they were like against any other team, I'd be like, they'll be fine. Like Hawks, they'd be right. Crows, they'd be right. And then
Same thing for Collingwood. If there's one team, right, that is a bogey side for a team to play in finals, I think if the Pies matched up against the Dogs and if the Lions matched up against the Dogs, either could be unpredictable. I'd also think the Pies, Crows not playing a finals game would be a lost opportunity because they seem to pull on. So I think we're going to soak in that round 22 game when they match up on a Friday night against the Pies. But going by this position, Collingwood Western Bulldogs would be the grand final.
I would love it to be the grand final.
And the Pies win it.
Yep.
Giving us another great grand final.
And that means that the Pies would have beaten them. Do we have the Dogs beating them when they played again the second time?
I think so. Yes, because we think they'll drop one.
Yeah. So if they go 1-1.
No, sorry. No, we predicted them to beat the Dogs, but the Lions and the Hawks to get them.
Yeah, so the Pies would go a clean sweep of the Dogs through the year, 3-0.
So that's...
Sorry, 4-0. They played them in the first final as well. They have to lose one of them, you'd think, right?
I guess we'll find out.
Yep.
Right, should we do our tips?
Let's do our tips for the week.
Our actual tips?
Yes. Now, I'm probably going to go back on what I said in the first one because you've got to pick upsets in tipping. It's just how it is.
That's fine. This is what we're thinking form-wise. Predictions for the rest of the year is form-wise. This week, however, by the way, pretty sure if I got 9. Yep. It's probably the easiest tipping round.
So many people got 9.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
I got 8. I tipped the Saints, unfortunately. I got the hard one, getting Sydney, and I fucking gave it away by tipping the Saints.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Also, I'm pretty sure, I was close on the margin. I got 19. MRL from PA, Mark, got 9 and nearly got a perfect round with 2 as his margin. But the top 5 are separated by 5 tips. Well, top 6 are separated by 5 tips.
Yeah.
Geordie, 577 is 2 points ahead still. NATO got 9 as well. Hunzilla Killer FC got 9. As I said, Mark has jumped into 4th spot with 9. He's now on 105. Bazza's Rouge got 9. Back into the top 5. Bazza, nice to see you. And Squeakums, I think we talked about her the other week.
Yep, making her way up. I finally cracked the ton, which is very exciting.
Congratulations.
And you are at 96, closing the gap, which is very, very...
By 1.
Yeah.
If I gain one per week.
One tip at a time. We'll be right.
I haven't cracked the top 20 in a long time, so it'll be very interesting how it goes. So, round 18.
Yes.
Going to be the most, most viewed round in terms of ladder prediction, upsets, this and that.
This is the time of the year when the ladder predictors get a lot of work.
That's why I decided to do it now, because I don't look at it for a while. Squiggle
and AFL.com get a lot of work in these.
Never have I wanted some teams to lose more this weekend. We'll start off Thursday night footy. The Lions Blues at Marvel. Surprise is not at the Gabba, considering they always play at the Gabba. And it's at Marvel, which makes it worse. So the Lions by 27.
I did 24.
Oh.
Very close.
Yes, that is correct. We are, always right. We're always close together, aren't we?
Yeah.
You missed my wink. That's all right. I guess you just keep me in the cold.
It's better come back.
I've also just written down the Blues for you, so that's unfortunate. So you lose a tip there.
No. No.
I think you just tipped the Blues. See, when you're in the snow, right, you might get blue balls because you're cold. Friday night footy. We're going to Gold Coast, where the Suns take on the Pies. Now, I know in the fucking prediction we said the Pies, but I'm tipping the Suns.
I'm also tipping the Suns
because I want them to win.
Dacos is sick.
That doesn't matter. He can be sick. He'll still play.
Yeah.
But saw a lot of things last week that were quite graphic. Didn't get well received. Someone called me a Dan Gorringe wannabe.
It was
Same
just
hairline.
It was just funny, the reaction. It was an if.
No one reads the if. The Suns will win this, and they'll win this by less than a goal. And the whole People First Stadium will be black and white.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
That's the quote graphic.
Yep. Well, you can have one. You never have one. You should put your face on it more. Anyway, are you tipping the...
Tipping the Suns. Yeah, going with the Suns.
Could just tip the Pies so you lose a tip, eh? Loser. Dogs, Crows, Marvel. 12:50. Criminal that this is a 12:50 game. Originally supposed to be at Mars, so they decided to put VEL at the end of it.
I forgot about that. I forgot it was meant to be a Mars game.
Hey, we're supposed to play at Mars, so we can't play there anymore. So how about we put it at Marvel? Mars Stadium, Marvel
Even better
advantage. It's like the scene of The Simpsons where Homer's in the movie where he's driving to Alaska and it looks all shit and he's just like puts the poster on it. That's better.
That's better.
I hope there's a like a template for that. And put Mars Stadium and then put Marvel.
Marvel. That's better.
That's better. So we go from that to another cracker at NG. Giants, Cats.
Catters.
It's even the Giants.
Ooh.
He
wants a different tip. He wants to try and catch up.
Yeah. I don't want your tip.
Yep.
Run it back. We actually didn't tip the Crows Dogs game.
Oh, Dogs.
Yeah, I'm tipping the Dogs too. Sorry, Crump fans. This is actually one of those games that I really, really hope you lose. And I'm worried that you'll win. Because then it's like you are going to finish in the top 4, probably top 2, play at home. Yeah. You're going to get a double chance.
Marvel, it's like you're a top 4 team.
That's all right. Tipping the Giants, though. Richmond, Essendon. Why is this on a Saturday night game? You could have had.
Could have swapped them. You could have just. They'll never play a Freo game. Like
this is the Essendon game they win.
Yeah, they got to get one.
Yeah. Freo Hawks at Optus. Good game of footy.
Is Freo season finished? Like, do they get worried that their season's done?
Well, they've been in this position before where Freo give out hope. It's like the Suns, right? They give out hope, they look really good, and then somehow they fall away.
Yeah.
And Freo have been doing it for a long, long time. Not as long as the Suns, but yeah, they've done it. But I also think Freo have that energy of what they did in 2013, 2015, you know, where they bet the Cats at the G and they made a semi-final. I think they win this one.
I'll give them that too. I think
the Hawks finally get out of the vortex of playing in Tassie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think, and then they have to go back there soon anyway.
I feel like you should do the tips first because I'm just convincing you to tip opposite.
You're speaking like nicely. You're speaking good about them. Well, yeah, fair enough. No, like
Freo suck. They're awful.
No, I do think Freo's going to win. I like people this week have now come out and been like Justin Longmuir, he's done. Like he's gonna get sacked, kind of thing. And right after media are wrong all the time. And I just think they're gonna come out, they're gonna win, and all of a sudden it's gonna flip again, and it's gonna be Freo's really good. They're gonna play finals, and it's a constant fucking cycle of like, oh, they're good, oh, they're shit. So Freo for me.
Wolfie time.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of new Freo fans. Hey guys.
I'd be like Wolfie time. Someone said we were really funny, and I was like, thanks.
Thanks. I know. I saw one that was like, great listen, and I was like, thanks, man.
That's us. Subscribe for more. We start off our Sundays. Hopefully not hungover. Well, for me anyway, you'll be already driving the car.
I'll be driving.
Dees will win this one.
Yep.
Then we have, well, what a great blunt rotation this will be. We go Dees North
What a
into
Sunday.
Saints Swans into Port Eagles. I'll give it to you now. The Swans are still a chance to play finals. Until that gets taken away from them, they will believe. So they win this game.
I'm tipping the Saints.
It's because you're paid by them.
I didn't tip them. Oh, I tipped them last week, actually. I didn't tip them against Freo or Collingwood.
You wanted to.
They always do. They always do a little bit. That's also just
And Port.
By 1 million.
You know what, though? The type of game where Port come out of a tough loss, a lot of injuries, and everyone's like, oh, you played gallantly, and then we lose to the Eagles. Become the laughing stock. And
Been there.
the Eagles are the type to do it. And you know what? It's the first game I attend in a little while, so I'm very, very excited.
Very exciting.
Yeah, I'll be limping around the Adelaide Oval.
Yeah. But you get to be there and hopefully watching a big win. And someone having 1 million touches.
Georgiades is second in the Coleman. Equals second. Jeremy Cameron drops off at the back end of the year. There is still hope.
So no,
we
there's
can get
no
our first ever Coleman medalist.
first ever.
Yeah. Shredders wasn't one.
Yeah. Shredders wasn't one. Jay Schultz wasn't one.
No. Schultz, he was a chance in 2014, missed out by like 5 goals.
Yeah. Interesting. That was, again, that's the year that we talk about the story all the time, but I was at the Adelaide Oval and Jay Schultz kicked like 8 against the
I swear he kicked 4 bags of 7 that year. 1 bag of 8 was against the Dogs, actually.
Yeah, he kicked 7 against the Lions. I remember it because I think it was the first year he did never tear us apart. And I was in the Portuguese school.
If I had $1 for every time you've told that story,
yep,
we have $7 or $8.
It's all right.
Which is 2 coffees.
So
1, depending on where you go.
Yeah, I was going to say our local cafe probably 1, 1.5.
And half a cookie.
Yep.
Aesthetics?
Yep.
Stupid sexy. Give it to me.
Blues Lions.
Hot.
Not bad. Don't mind it. Marvel's okay too.
Yes.
Suns Pies. Good.
Hot.
Good.
Because what Pies fans?
If it was at the G, bad. But because it's at Suns, be okay. Dogs
Crows.
Crows.
Beautiful.
Not bad. Royal blue, navy blue.
Marvel.
Oh, they'll be wearing their red actually. Crows. So that'll be that's good.
Giants Cats. Love it.
Fantastico.
Richmond Essendon.
Fantastico also. I like it. Freo Hawthorn. I like it. Good run so far.
Good run. Very, very good run.
D's North. Not bad.
It's good because it's lighter.
Yeah, be a bit of red. Don't hate it. Saints Sydney, unfortunately, not good.
They shouldn't broadcast that game.
Hey, it might be all right. And Port West Coast, pretty good.
It'd be 30,000 till folk just hoping and praying we don't lose the West Coast. Kids go free, which is good, which means there'll be more children there to be traumatized.
That's true. To watch a Port loss.
We'll
so
win.
many in like 10 years when these kids have their own podcasts and they'll be coming on and they'll be like, I remember one of my first games was Port West Coast.
I feel
and
so
I
sorry
lose.
for the kids that start ThePear 2.0 and their first ever game was Port Suns. Imagine that. Like, you are that traumatized that the first game you ever went to was the Gold Coast first ever win. Like, historic, great. Start of all the things to come.
I was there. Yeah.
Are you actually there?
Yeah, I've told that story before.
Have you?
Yeah, I think so.
You were at the first ever Suns win against Port.
The first ever Suns win at fucking Amy Stadium. Westhoff missed after the siren.
Well, I don't have to fucking relive it.
Someone I can't remember who it was. Like Riscatelli? No, it wouldn't have been Riscatelli. Somebody. Maybe Matera. Somebody snapped and hit the top of the goalpost, and the metal cap that was on the top of the goalpost popped off. That's how high he hit it. He like knocked the top of the goalpost.
This is a niche thing to remember.
Yeah, because I was right behind the goals when it happened.
Do you remember which end you're at?
That goal. I can figure this out. That goal, I was not at the end that Westhoff kicked to. So like when at the end.
Oh, same end as me.
Yeah, when Westhoff kicked to the end, I was at the other end of the ground.
A horrible game.
That's like all I remember. I remember very few things about that game. But
just the cap flying off. So you could say for the Suns, the lids was off.
The lid was off for the Suns. The lid was well off. Very good.
Great way to end.
Yes.
We predicted. We've talked about things. Should be fun.
Will your team make finals? Let us know in the comments below. And like and subscribe. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. Let us know your team in the comments. And let us know
AI.
if you think they're gonna. That's exactly what it sounded like.
You sound like the voiceover for when they tell you to vote for your favorite Big Brother contestant, or like Australian Idol, or
do you think Kelly should make it through to next week? Call 131180 or message Kelly. Stay tuned for Big Brother After Dark.
Do you think Mark gets his shoes off? You can vote at 1300 Mark. See if he can go through next week with his lovely partner.
Todd McKenney. 7. That's actually
Let's see what Marsha Hines thought of that performance.
That's exactly what it sounds like. And now for the judges' scores. Todd McKenney. 5. Oh, thanks everybody.